Bag, I want the bag. Work my way from a garden to a track. Flip it from a track to a plot full of acres. Do it for the farmers and producers and the makers. What we even here for? Occasionally I ask it. I know it's more than struggling, anticipating the casket. Reap what we sow, trying to fill up my basket. Life's a plantation, I self-law and master. Over the plot I've been granted on this planet. Now it's slanted, cause the chosen been supplanted. But if you overstand it, it was spoken. Fractured, but we ain't broken. Even though some would rather play the role of token, we growing. Black through the essence of a presence. We carry the blood of gods, we carry the mind of peasants. Rich black gardens, future look more like Eden. Multiply seeds like the seed banks in Sweden. Rep my planners on plan according to season. B1 code, switching it up is treason. Black power, family what we eat. Either we get fed or we feed. B1AG.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the B1AG Daily Bread Podcast. I'm John Henry Harris. We also have Farmer Brown, the MC. Here at B1AG, we focus on Black agriculture as it pertains to agricultural production, education, marketing, health, food, nutrition, and economics for the Black family and for the Black community. Welcome Black to the garden. Now, all last year, we have Bill Gates and all the stock markets. They were telling us that this fake meat, plant-based meat, and lab meat is going to be the new craze. It's the future. It's carbon friendly. Oh, and all these athletes got behind it and marketed and pushed it and telling us how great it was going to be. But when we look at the stock market and the actual profitability of this fake meat, lab-based meat, plant-based meat, it's starting to show and tell a different story. So today we're going to look at this. We're going to look at this this little phenomenon. Well, really just the truth of it. Fake meat craze losing steam. What now? Because it's now we're proponents of healthy eating and eating as good as you want to be, but from a market standpoint, millions, really billions and billions of dollars have been pumped into this fake meat craze, and it has not yielded a return as of yet. So we're going to look at this and really dive deep into what this means as far as our meat intake into the future, and also just the viability of the laboratory meat. So, Farmer Brown, what say you?
First, I just like to say peace to the B1 family. Hope everybody's doing well. What a Big Al say? Real recognize real. We don't real recognize real. And so right now we think about a lot of economies are based around speculation. And so in 2019, this what we'll call fake meat industry was being traded at 234. That was July in 2019, where it's now trading under $48. And so, we've had a lot of people talking about all of these great possibilities. You actually had a lab-grown meat plant opened up in California. I know there's one in Israel. And so it kind of reminds me of the hemp craze with the hemp oil. People totally forgot about the fiber and other uses for hemp. And so they went to the oil and the market was oversaturated, or, it wasn't capacity to really get the most out of your crop. So saying that to say, I think this particular story says a lot about a lot of other trends and waves when we come to this concept of value. So I look forward to deep diving into this discussion.
Now, as we stated, billions and billions of dollars have been pumped into this fake meat industry. And there's a story out from AgWeb at agweb.com that says fake meat is bleeding money. And what this article says is that there's no animal blood on the floor in plant-based protein maker Beyond Meat's processing facilities, but for 3 years, the company has been bleeding cash. In fact, investors in the once trendy fake meat company have seen losses mounting. JP Morgan stock analyst Ken Goldman called Beyond Meat the worst performer in our universe in the last year. And that's because Beyond Meat's stock price fell 67% in a market that saw a median gain of 13%. Additionally, Goldman said Beyond Meat fell 15% over the past month and 10% of the past week. Now, change takes time. Now, all these billions of dollars pumped into the market, I guess a lot of people were expecting to see immediate turnaround and everybody to jump on the bandwagon of fake meat. But, you know, people eat what they eat and they like what they like. And this is a new product.
So this is one of the reasons we stress getting black to the garden as the original stewards of this planet. And so how do we get to where we're in 2022 having this discussion about fake meat in the first place? So fake meat, you know, from the globalist, from the billionaire standpoint, hey, this is a way to address climate change. Uh, Truth be told, a lot of the crops that you see when you're riding along the interstate in rural areas, a lot of land has been reserved just for feeding. You know, when you think about all the meat that needs to be sourced, you think about the Super Bowl that just passed, you think about your grocery stores, which you see is less and less meat, which is a whole nother topic. But it's real land intensive because you have to raise a lot of crops, you know, a lot of corn, soy to feed these animals. On top of that, you think about the water, you know, you think about the manure processing. And so all of these, because you know when these livestock waste, it goes into waterways. We think about Flint, Michigan, in the urban setting, and okay, these lead pipes have been here for decades, not addressed. Can you imagine how efficient of a system it is to address all of these different systems in rural America? You know, we're barely able to tackle the ones in urban areas, and so can you imagine how old the infrastructure is to properly manage the manure? And so once again, you know, I guess trying to play devil's advocate. And so the Bill Gates and people who've invested in Beyond Meat see it as okay, well, if we don't really have to grow the real animal, then we could avoid having to destroy the or, you know, depleting the soil or depleting the waterways. But in doing that, you know, you have all of these other unintended consequences. Because to make, I think a couple of years ago, just to make a one lab grown hamburger was like $100,000. You know, you factor in the technology needed, the labor, you know, all of the different materials. And so we've been kind of watching this over the last few months, actually a year or two now, to where these companies are slowly trying to get that process down to where it matches the market of, you know, regular meat. But it's not going to happen. And so I think for people that still do eat meat, I think this is definitely a conversation to have. I heard about that fake KFC. I haven't touched KFC in years, but I was curious how that was gonna go. Because once again, I'm glad you brought that up. Like bro was saying about this whole thing of marketing. You have this whole thing of marketing, and so you know we're gonna start hearing this climate change word more. And you know, I create the problem, I'm gonna say the solution. So our solution is we're gonna give you meat and protein, and we didn't have to raise, you know, thousands, millions of heads of livestock. In some countries, they've already introduced insects, which, you know, some cultures, insects are normal, but, you know, we think about marketing. Can you think about marketing some crispy crickets to a Super Bowl crowd in North America, for example? That would be a hard sell versus, okay, hey, I'll sell you plant based meat. That sounds a little bit better. But I haven't heard too many good comments about the KFC plant based, and so I imagine Beyond Meat. I haven't had Beyond Meat. I haven't had Beyond Meat, but I imagine, you know, these things look good on a board, you know, when you're planning them out. But when you're trying to roll them out to real people, there's so many factors that you just can't plan for. And so once again, there's nothing like just knowing how to grow real food, knowing what the process of growing real food is. Here at B1AG, we really don't talk about livestock and animal production much. It is a big piece of it. Our conversation here is understanding it from the seed. Because even if you want to raise livestock, if you want to raise poultry, chickens, rabbits, whatnot, they're going to have to eat something. And so the whole start of this food chain is something that started in the ground with the seed. And so our goal is to start having this, is to expand this conversation.
And I know, like I said, people, some people are very picky eaters. Like I say, people like what they like. I know I was having a conversation with a coworker, and I was eating some oatmeal. It was in the morning before work, and I was having some oatmeal. And then my coworker said that she hates oatmeal. And I'm like, wow, like, have you ever eaten it? And she said, no. So I'm like, well, how can you say you hate oatmeal if you never tasted it? But in her mind, she doesn't like it and will never eat it. So that's the same. This is like almost like the same hill that fake meat must overcome. Fake meat. Especially here in America, the way we've been marketed to, hey, we like our burgers and we like our steaks. And we like it the way we like it. Texas will brag about their steaks, just like Memphis will brag about their barbecue ribs, or just like how we like our meat how we like it. And coming from a lab or a burger coming from a plant just may not be appealing to a lot of people. But just as a caveat to the story, Rick Ross just bought his first cow. Now, we know Rick Ross has been venturing off into the food arena. He has his chain of rallies or Checkers. And then he also has the Wingstop. He introduced Thigh Stop, the Thigh Stop menu to Wingstop. But he actually bought his first cattle. And I would like to show this to you as, just as this fake meat craze is losing its steam. Just the excitement of Rick Ross purchasing his first cow. So if y'all would, y'all just check this out, because this is it's really something to see. And this video comes from MREC TV. Shout out to MREC. He does a great job with his hip hop stories. And I just want y'all to check this out. It's a short video. It's a little over 2 minutes. Check this out. This is Rick Ross when he bought his first cow.
Wayne Bush, he smelled daddy. Daddy right here. He smelled daddy. Come to daddy. Oh! Show these hoes a bull. What I'm gonna name this? Come to daddy. Look at you.
Oh. His name is Trust, but we can re-register, change his name. You want him to be
you can name whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, we gotta come up with a name for
10 months old.
He only 10 months.
2,700.
This my first cow right here. This is my first. Look at it, big boy. Look at it. Come to daddy.
Eyeballs.
Feed you good. You gonna eat good. Oh, you gonna eat like the biggest stuff right there. I'm ready for it right now. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
I'm in Central and Sandbox.
Yeah! Yeah! That's yours! That's yours! Welcome to the promised land, baby. Welcome to the promised land. Look at them horses looking. Them horses looking. Mind y'all business. You been talking about getting the cow.
For years, boy. We got our first bull. That's right.
You better believe it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. I want y'all to know my bull just a puppy. That's why I'm referring to him as a cow. He less than a year old. He only 10 months. But as y'all can see, he gonna be a giant, big boy. Boss Angus.
He never seen no cow. You talking about he ain't seen no horse.
They would say, Rose, why you buy so many cars? You don't have my vision. Now I'm finna put a successful car show together. By the time I put my third one, I've been and made all the money I spent in cars and profit. We just posted the flyer yesterday, and a huge brand that already offered me 6 figures. They offered me 100.
And I know all of them.
I hope y'all can hear the excitement. Yeah! Now, when have you ever seen Rick Ross that excited talking about jewelry or even cars? He was talking at the end of the video, he was talking about his cars, but did you see his demeanor? It was totally different from when he bought his first cow, Boss Angus. That cow.
Did you see his entourage?
Everyone was happy. Think about this. That cow is projected to be 2,700 pounds. Rick Ross can feed his whole family off of that one cow.
Oh, he's going to breed that. He's going to breed it.
Of course. But if he was to eat that cow would feed his family for an entire year. Trust me. My grandfather, we had cows growing up. He never had no more than 2 to 6 cows at a time. But he would kill 1 cow a year. And then when that one cow a year, our immediate family ate, as well as extended family for the entire year.
Let's look at the context. I can definitely appreciate the context. This is Rick Ross, right? Got my first brick, then I flipped it. I got my first cow. First meaning I plan on getting second, third, and fourth. One of the bros in his entourage was like, "Yeah, we've been talking about this for years." And this is what this Grow Hard Challenge is about. I guarantee you, all of them men that were out there, the entourage, they've enjoyed some great nights in Miami, around the country, traveling with the boss. And so to see that level of excitement with grown men, Erica, sister, can you imagine some kids seeing some cats that they respect, some local cats around the hood that got, a couple stacks to invest in some livestock? Maybe you're not going to raise it, but maybe you can reach out to somebody like Brother Lockridge that knows where the feedlots are, that know how to raise livestock, that's willing to talk to the kid, and Waka Flocka as well. Waka Flocka, Beyonce got a bee farm right now. And so it's definitely gaining traction. So, my thing is, how do we capitalize on the grassroots level? Because all of us aren't going to be superstars. Rick Ross did more promotion for agriculture than 4-H could do with millions of dollars of funding through the USDA. He did it just by doing a video of him getting his first cow. Because out of, I imagine millions of people have seen that video. And out of millions, we're being specific now, a few thousand have now got a seed in their mind. Well, damn, Rick Ross got a cow. He was selling dope on his iPhone. Now he's selling livestock. Maybe I'm gonna jump into that. And like we said, the context of this conversation, we see the plan that the elites have for this fake meat ain't going the way they wanted it to. On subject, but off, not to digress. I think Pfizer and Moderna, a lot of these companies were sending out, emails to their stakeholders like, hey, we're not going to, next quarter might be kind of bad, once the research starts coming out. And part of me believes that the same thing is going to come out with this plant-based. In many areas, yes, it makes sense. We reduce the wear and tear on the natural land, and we provide a healthy alternative. But once again, the devil is in the details. A few months back, and I know some of the family I'm not happy about it. If you talk to any of the elders, I remember my sister's grandmother Archie said, those aren't chickens that y'all buy in the store. I mean, it has the word chicken written on it, but that's not chicken. And so saying that to say, I hope the Most High allows our body to be able to absorb some of this toxic stuff that we've been consuming for decades now. But one of the reasons we're excited about this conversation, because this is time to, what does this process look like? It took us decades to get away from eating natural, to where this dude is like, he's in his 40s, and this is his first time owning a cow, right? But this is something exciting to him. So how can we recreate that excitement to somebody who's not even in middle school yet? How can we make that normal to somebody that young, to where once they get Rick Ross's age, okay, they done already started their whole operation. Either they went to school, went and interned, or went directly and started their own ag operation. But it starts with planting that seed. Like I said, Rick Ross did better promotion for agriculture than the USDA could ever.
And we want to plant that. We're definitely here at B1AG. We're planting that seed at healthyblackfood.com. Sign up, get your kids to sign up, get your nephews, nieces, cousins, brothers, sister, auntie, uncle, the family, your friends around the block. Hey, y'all sign up at healthyblackfood.com and learn how to grow your own food. And don't just learn how to grow your own food, put it into practice. This is a survival skill that we must reclaim. We must reclaim this survival skill and this knowledge of growing our own food. And think about this: the more food you can grow for yourself, that's less money you have to spend at a store that we see the shelves are becoming more and more empty, and those prices are becoming extravagantly high for
My
less
mom wanted some
quality.
turkey necks this morning, so I ended up having to go 2, 3, 4 different stores to find some turkey necks to take to my mom. And these are, some of the higher end stores where normally they have these things in stock. You go down each of these rows of shelves. There's these large, just empty spaces, and it's one of those things they talk about, the boiling frog, where the frog's in the pot and it doesn't realize it's being boiled. This was happening with our food security right now. And once again, when white America catches a cold, black America catch COVID, AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis. It comes down bad on us. But saying that to say that is our opportunity right now. If we can plant these seeds now, I feel like we can't waste another day. We can't waste another second making this a part of our culture. That's why, regardless of everybody's got to account for what they do. But regardless of what Rick Ross has rapped about or still raps about or does in his personal life, by being a melanated man, he's done justice to this field. He's brought attention to it. Like the sister brought up Waka Flocka. This isn't, it ain't got nothing to do with the worship of celebrities. They're people, they're mud and blood just like anybody else. But if you understand, like the liquor companies understand, like the clothing companies understand, hey, a lot of people know this face. So if this person says, hey, I like this gray shirt, I'm going to have more people buying gray shirt. So when you have people like Yeezy getting farms and getting sheep, we have people like Rick Ross getting his cow, showing everybody, and then stunting with his cars. When you got people like Waka Flocka actively learning how to garden, we got people like Beyonce, like literally starting a honeybee operation. And this is to address our kids' allergies. This is the best advertisement. And so my thing is, it's not something where we're just, clapping for the celebrities. It's now time for us on the grassroots level, because the power is in the grassroots. How do we apply this now that these people have slow boiling, slow cooking? Now that these people that our people recognize as special, the superstars are saying that, hey, this is the wave. What can we do on the grassroots, those who are already getting our hands dirty? How can we capitalize on this excitement? And Brad's going to talk about this Grow Hard Garden Challenge. But the point I want to make is, family, here at B1AG, we like to talk about solutions. Not just talk about solutions, but ways to implement. There's no one person, group, organization that has all of the answers. But if you get a critical mass of melanated people that care and that genuinely want to see a result of something, I don't think there's nothing in the world that we can't master. And right now, food security is to me, in my modest opinion, has to be one of the top 2 things that the melanated community is going to have to address. And I think the top one is making sure that our kids understand this dynamic of production. It's one thing producing beats. It's one thing, I can produce a nice jump shot. It's one thing producing nice grades. But if you can't produce food, nothing else you produce is going to matter if you don't get to the next day. And so our goal is, how do we make sure that our kids, before they've been marketed with all of the things that destroy them and turn them into perpetual consumers, how do we make sure we're marketing this concept of production on a grassroots level? Any one of us can become kids to superstars who don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about big time superstars yet. Any person that's going to come to their classroom, spend a couple hours with them on the weekend, every other weekend, something like that, doing garden activities, you become the star to those kids. You become the Barney. You become the Big Bird. You become the what's his name, Smokey the Bear, by merely spending time. And this is power that all of us have. All of us that know how to grow something. All of us know how to talk a little bit. All of us that might have a little space to where we can gather a couple of people around. But the opportunity is now. Starting on March 19th, we're going to be conducting the Grow Hard Garden Challenge. You can register on Eventbrite right now. What this garden challenge is we're challenging, we're mainly focused on 3rd through 5th graders, but we're not, excluding anybody. But we want our goal, personal goal, we want at least 250,000 melanated kids to start a garden in 2022. I was always told you shoot for the stars, and if you fall short on the moon. But we need as many of our young people as possible to try, and specifically urban gardens, because we know everybody might not have access to land, or if you do, that's fine. But we want you to specifically either do a container garden, a raised bed or box garden, a vertical garden, or straw bale garden. We want you to try at least one of those 4 systems, be able to articulate. We want you to be able to report your progress throughout this 4-month challenge. So when you share your pictures, share your videos, we're going to share them on different platforms, different Boyce Watkins platforms, Fly Nubian Queen, Black Boss, and Black Knowledge, and others. For recognition, we want these kids to be recognized. We want people, we want their peers to see them doing something constructive. Farming, learning how to grow isn't geeky. It isn't what do they call a green thumb? We just heard the boss, the biggest boss that you've seen thus far, happy about getting a cow. In academic terms, this gentleman bought a Bos Indicus livestock, and he is going to raise it for. He's made an investment into food production. Is what he's done. It to the outlook are looking on. Oh, this is just some nigga that done bought a cow. No, he's made an investment. This is our time right now to reframe, rename, or change what this whole ag game looks like.
And think about this. Most people, they see the empty shelves in the stores. If there was not to ever be another beef burger sent to the grocery store, Rick Ross is going to have some. And that's the value of growing your own food. Now, Bro was talking about the different ways to grow food. This is a straw bale garden. When we say a straw bale garden, those blocks of hay, you can grow food in a block of hay. Instead of using the dirt, that grass, that hay will act as dirt, and you can grow in it. We all need to experience and learn how to do that.
And then it breaks down in the ground. It's sustainable.
Yes.
So after year 1, it's yielded what you wanted to grow, and then it breaks in the ground. You till it in for year 2, or do a lasagna garden. So saying that to say, this is one of the goals we want the kids to pick up is, you're going to have trial and error. Most of the best farmers I know, you can only read so many books versus trial and error. What works, what doesn't. What do I want? At the end of this season, I want, X amount of tomatoes, X amount of corn, whatever. What does it take to get it? And so trying these different systems. And so that's why with the Grow Hard Garden Challenge, and we will be doing live presentations, educational workshops throughout this 4 months. As my grandfather says, keep it simple, stupid. We don't expect everybody to just jump off after this challenge and become a farmer. But what we do expect is that once the participants have gone through this program, taken it seriously, reported it, not only do they know how to produce food, starting with the seed, not only do they understand the basic dynamics of what a seed, what plants need to survive, we want them to be able to articulate themselves. Because in doing this program, I know there's some parents that get excited and want to do the work for the kid. We want the kids to do the majority of the work. Obviously, parent, guardian, step in if necessary. But this is preparing them to produce this producer mindset that we speak of. It's one thing you did this activity, but it's another thing I need you to explain it. Break it down. Why did this work? Why did you choose this one? What resources were needed? Did you have to use more water with this system versus that system? Did this system require as much sun as the other system? Explain.
And also, I did drop the Eventbrite link for those watching live in the YouTube as well as Facebook chat. You can just click on it and go directly there. I made it easy for y'all. All you have to do is click on it, and you'll go straight to the Eventbrite page for those who are catching it later in replay. There at the bottom of the screen, that is the Eventbrite link. If you have to pause it and write this down and put this in your URL to get to that Eventbrite page, do that. And of course, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. That's free. That's a help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? You give us some help a brother out energy. You know, like, share, and subscribe. You have the Strawberry Gardens, and now look at this. We have container gardens. Shout out Herschel. I'm glad you checked in, bro. Glad you checked in, bro. And we have our container gardens. Look at the different containers that can be used to grow food. This is where we can get creative. You know, we can repurpose a lot of things. You know, we can reuse things that look like trash or discarded from old dresser drawers. You know, I even joke about it, but you could put some landscaping fabric inside of an old shoe. Think about growing food out of a Timberland boot. Think about growing food out of an old pair of Jordans. How fly is that? How fly is that?
Athletic all-stars.
That's right. Athletes. We're trying to produce these athletes. You know, we're very well of our athletic prowess, you know, in all these different sports, but we want to push becoming athletes, agricultural elites, you know, those that we master this growing this food. We've mastered being able to feed ourselves. And what I hope you would get from this is that's power. There's power.
Brother Lockridge brought up a point. He was talking about his tiller. His motor was down because of bad gas. And so if we think about this, okay, so once again, these are practical issues. We know that there was a time when there was. So I know how to do a garden with or without the tiller. The tiller is obviously going to save you a lot of time, right? But, you know, one of the purposes, once again, of this Grow Hard Challenge, we want these kids to know how to grow their food if there is no equipment. Our ancestors, you know, they did agriculture and built the wealth of North America with no equipment, you know, no electric equipment, no modern equipment. And so saying that to say is being able to understand how to produce food on a rudimentary level. And then as they get older in year 2, year 3, whoever's working with them, then you introduce the motorized, right. The totalizer. But learning how to produce with your hands, with the shovel, learning how to, it's a workout, but this is when you get those kids. All right. This is when you get those kids from the ball teams. Hey, y'all, we're going to do a different type of conditioning today. We're going to break this lady, this lady in the neighborhood. She's volunteered her yard. She wants to grow some tomatoes for the team, or she wants to grow something. And so one day out of the week when we practice, we're going to go do somebody's garden. Me as your coach, I'm going to guide you through it. And it's what as they say, each one reach one, each one teach one. These are skills that are transferable regardless of what's going on in the economy. There will never be a time where we don't need to eat. There will never be a time, because I don't think they even have home ec courses anymore. There'll never be a time where it's not important to know how to not only produce food, but to store it. How to make sure if DoorDash or the different distribution hubs get shut down, okay, do we have a network? Same way if we're hustling, do we have a network of people that understand, okay, you're going to be there. I picked this up from you, and from here I can distribute it. Repeat this model. Do we have those with food?
We need them.
I tend to believe if you get these young people's minds on the bigger bag of it, let's get their minds off of just, farmer in the Dale. Farmer in the Dale. No, it's so much bigger than that. It's so much bigger than that. And so our goal with Grow Hard Challenge, we want the community involved. We want to highlight, we want these kids to be seen, not as little tokens, not as little cute, little stock photos. But if you could go to the slide with Ja'Cory.
All right, now I just want to show this, highlight this before we leave this slide. Now, look, we understand everybody doesn't live in the country. We know there are a lot of people that live in urban centers and the cities and things like that. So you may not have a lot of land. You may not have a big yard to grow. Hey, technology has allowed us to grow upwards, vertical gardening. And this is very important. And I think this is going to be the biggest thing that will save us in any kind of disaster or impending food shortage. Our ability to be able to vertical garden, grow upwards, produce more food with less water, using less space. It's very easy to do, it's viable, and we must be able to gain this knowledge. So I'm gonna go back to this slide with Jacory, and this is him right here reporting his progress.
And so for the adults watching, this is what we want to create. We want to replicate this. Is it possible to get 250,000 melanated kids in North America? You know, they're already going to be on social media. And so this isn't an activity saying, oh, put your phone down when you're out in the garden. But once you've done your work, here, do a screenshot of it and explain. It is an assignment. And so Jacory was actually one of the winners this year. He was able to articulate everything he was doing. And this was his first time doing a garden. But saying that to say, we want to replicate this. We want to fill the algorithm with these images. I know on TikTok, there's all of these crazy challenges that people got going on. I was young at the time, so I'm not here to throw shade. But when we're thinking about compensatory logic, if we got, 10 pieces or 10 parts ratchetness or 10 parts confusion, we need to come with 11 parts clarity. We need to come back with 11 parts codification. And it doesn't matter what side of the bird you're on, if you still want to ride this blue and red bird, or if you're just a melanated person that understands we're here to thrive, not just survive, but to thrive. And learning how to grow food is, one of the main components of thriving. And passing this game down, passing this knowledge down to our kids, that's a part of the war. That's a part of the battle right there, is just getting the information now to the next generation.
And again, we're going to keep pushing this B1 algorithm, fighting against the algorithm, pushing images of our youth, of us growing food. They can't be mad at us for that. Can they? Will they? However, it doesn't matter, because he who feeds you leads you. So let's lead ourselves to the grand harvest. Now, I have a treat for y'all. This is the Grow Hard Garden Challenge for 2022. But I want to give y'all just a little motivation from my boy Farmer Brown, the MC. And this is the video that really kind of spearheaded a lot of this work that we've been doing on. And this is Farmer Brown, the MC with Grow Harder. Please enjoy.
Photosynthesis, yeah, it. First I break the ground, then I till it up. Put fertilizer down, let's see to sow it up. Let it get some sun, every day I water it. Watch out for pests and weeds until I harvest it. Go ahead, grow hard, grow smarter. Go ahead, go hard, grow harder. Go ahead, grow hard, grow smarter. Go ahead, go hard, grow harder. Break the ground, then I till it up. Put fertilizer down, let's see to sow it up. Let it get some sun, every day I water it. Watch out for pests and weeds until I harvest it. First I break the ground, then I till it up. Put fertilizer down, let's see to sow it up. Let it get some sun, every day I water it. Watch out for pests and weeds until I
And just to let you know, a lot of those kids that participated in this video, how many years ago was that, Brian?
If
This
you want
video
your
was
taxes
like
done
5
right,
years.
and you're guaranteed biggest refund.
2015.
Okay, 2015. So that's 7 years ago. A lot of those kids that participated in that video, a lot of
5
them,
of them are in ag programs.
5, they're in ag programs. It has what we're talking about is valuable. It works. This is not just some pie in the sky idea. This is actual research. Farmer Brown, the MC, he was at Kentucky State University. I was at the University of Kentucky. I was actually getting my master's in agricultural economics. This is not just childish ideas. There's a lot of thought, research, and proof of concepts that have gone into this. It works. It works. And if you want to go further than that, the most secure Black Americans have been in this country is when we ruled the fields. Right after slavery, when they let us free, when all we could do was grow food, that's how we built Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was built off of the farmers. The farmers, that is everything that the first commodity on the stock market was food and fiber and lumber, things you grow. That's what started the stock market. This is where the money is at. And I like to ask everyone, do you like to eat? Tell me someone who doesn't want to eat or doesn't like to eat. The fact is you have to eat, because if you don't eat, you will perish. So the need for food production is not going anywhere. In fact, it is increasing because the population is increasing exponentially. So we need to be able to grow more food. It's that important, y'all. Now they're trying to feed us this fake meat. They're trying to make the fake meat, the new craze. But right now, the stock market and the profit margins, they're saying, this might not be it. It might not be it. But we know for sure we all got to eat. We know that for sure. We all got to eat.
So,
And
Brother Lockridge, it's challenging. We've had this discussion before. It seems like, and I can tell you from experience, it seemed like, okay, these kids ain't really paying attention. They don't understand the value, the dad, mom. They don't understand what we got out here with this farm. Because, see, I deal with this with white clients as well. And they're like, I don't like that jungle music, but, they don't say that to me. But it's understood. Like, I don't really like hip hop, but if my kid likes this and this somehow lets my kid understand that Papa's farm has value, cool. And so my thing is, like, I want to make sure the melanated people understand the value. So when brothers like Brother Lockridge is fortunate to have offspring and fortunate to have a home base, okay, maybe year 1, year 2, year 3, they're on the other shit. But then and this is the beauty, it ties into what we're talking about today. So when a Rick Ross comes in, boss, with the gold chains and 50 cars comes in and says, I'm getting a cow. When Beyonce Queen Bee says, I'm it's not just a beehive, I'm really raising bees. When Waka Flocka, all they do is raising livestock, those kids that's on that other shit, look at them. They listen to these celebrities. And so it's like your kids actually have an advantage. And so they can turn up and they see, a celebrity's talking about this. And this is going to make them look outside a little different. They're going to see dad's farm a little bit different. They're going to see dad's operation Oh, dad got dirty boots. He ain't got what is it, red bottoms on, but he's producing. And the people who've been telling me about red bottoms, they're doing what dad was doing. And so once again, the power is in the grassroots. Are we preparing ourselves? Because I'm a person that I don't believe in coincidence. I haven't talked to none of these people, Rick Ross, none of these people, but you see this alignment taking place. All the pieces are falling in together. We think about the Patriot Act and spying. Oh, we don't need to spy. When you're tapped into what you're supposed to be doing, it comes together. I think about Avatar when they was running through the woods and all the animals came together. But this is real time, bro. This is real time, and we didn't get in this disparaging place overnight, and so we're not going to convince these kids overnight. So once again, the goal is we plant seeds and we cultivate within our means. We're not looking for any pie in the sky outcomes. We understand if you can reach 250,000 of any demographic, you're going to get at least a third of them to buy in. We want to get at least a third of 250,000 currently third through fifth graders within our community, within our family, to see the value in agriculture. So when Mr. Lockridge's kids get older, they have a community of people to say, hey, man, you're lucky. Your dad got a farm. Your dad knows how to do this. Your mom knows how to do this. Oh, y'all got that? And so we have to create a community. We're social beings. We like to be socially accepted, right? And so what can we do to drive this out, the social algorithm of social acceptance of we are people that produce?
And let's not forget, many hands make light work. So we really need our own sustainable, formidable food system, our own, separate from whatever the government states or they can provide. We need our own. And many hands make light work. So the more people we have participating, the more people that we have digging in the dirt, more people we have growing, hey, that's going to be more food produced, less hunger amongst our people. And that's a great thing. It's been a great show, y'all. Glad to be back. We appreciate all the misses. We miss y'all too. Glad to be back. We all got to eat. Again, healthyblackfood.com. Sign up. Learn how to grow your own food. You can do it there. Please don't forget, we have the Grow Hard Garden Challenge for 2022. Here is the Eventbrite link at the bottom of the screen. For those watching live on Facebook and YouTube, I also put it in the chat there. We can just click on it and go straight to the Eventbrite page. Sign up. That's free. We just want you to participate and get the kids to participate, and let's really give them something that they can show off. Our kids like to show off and stunt. You put them on, they see you on TikTok trying to show off all these dances. Let's see them show off what they can grow. Let's see what you can grow. Let's show what you can grow. Let's see who can grow the most. Who can grow the most? And let's do it.
I wish you would try to grow more food than me, because winner loses 2 times more food to eat.
You heard? That's a positive challenge. That's a challenge where we all win. We're challenging our kids in something that there is no loser. You're gaining knowledge. You're gaining a skill. You're learning how to do something on your own. He who leads you feeds you. Kroger, Walmart, or whatever your local grocery store, they're not our master. We can be the masters of our own fate with all the provisions that the Most High gave us. Land, air, and water. And these seeds and these plants. And of course, these hands. Let's get to work. So, Farmer Brown, at the end of the day, I'm talking about at the very end of the day, we like to say, if you really really want to know something, what do we need to do, bro?
Really want to know something? Prints in the mud. Let's learn how to grow something.
Thank y'all for tuning in to B1AG Daily Bread Podcast. Hey, let's grow hard. Let's grow harder. And of course, when we grow harder and we take this serious and learn how to produce our own food, it's just like eating a power, like your Pac-Man eating a power pellet. Power up! Let's get to work, y'all. See you soon. Peace.